To Fretboard Yoga. Today we're going to do Fretboard Salutation E, and this is going to be on the first string. So remember that your first string is the one closest to the floor, and it's the smallest one. So we're going to start out with the E major scale, but first you need to learn what a whole step is and what a half step is. A whole step is where we skip a fret, and a half step is where we just go one fret over. So if E were a fret, if your open note was a fret, to skip a fret to the next one, you'd have to skip over your first fret. So what we're going to do is go whole step, half step, whole step, whole, half. So we want to not just use your first finger, because we want to get all your fingers involved and get them used to pressing down the frets. We're going to do this in a couple sets. Your first set is going to be your first finger will play the second fret, first string, and then ring finger on the fourth fret, and your pinky finger or fourth finger on the fifth fret. So try that again. You can alternate your fingers of your right hand. Great. So now try the second set. This is going to be on the 7th fret with your first finger. So you kind of shift your whole position up. And then skip a fret with your middle finger. We want to get your middle finger involved too. So you're going to be on the 9th fret with that finger. And then your fourth finger, your pinky finger, on the 11th fret. And then just slide it up to the 12th. So you're going 7th fret, first finger, middle finger on the next whole step up, pinky finger, whole step up, and slide it up one fret. So let's try the whole scale now. So starting on the E, switch sets, first finger, second finger, fourth finger, and ending. So you can do this backwards too. So it'd be fourth finger, slide your fourth finger over, middle finger, first finger, then fourth finger goes back to the 5th fret, ring finger on the 4th, first finger on the 2nd fret, and open. So that doesn't sound much like a song. So now we want to make it a little bit more interesting by putting in some open E in between every single note. So it sounds like this. Okay, so open second, open fourth, open fifth, open seventh, open 9th, 11, and 12. Nice. So you can do any combination of those notes. So you could start out maybe up here. So any of those notes will sound right. And just a little note, if you hit a sour note, something that doesn't sound quite right, the correct note, or the one that will sound better, will be on either side of that sour note. If you hear something that's not quite right, go ahead and move to either side of it, and that one will sound better. And then the next step to this salutation is to learn the E major chord. And do a little bit of strumming. Take your second finger, we're going to move that to the 5th string. Again, count up from the bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Middle finger or second finger on that second fret, 5th string, ring finger or third finger right below it on the 4th string, and then bring your first finger to the 3rd string, 1st fret. You might already know this chord, but I'm just walking everybody through this so we're all on the same page. And to strum, we're just going to do this finger style. Imagine that you're holding a pick, and we're just going to let your nail of your right hand connect with the string. So just a little brush, let all the work be in your elbow, keeping it nice and steady. So E major. Great. The next chord that we're going to use in this salutation is an A suspended 2. So go from your E major chord. You're just going to move your 2 fingers, your middle finger and ring finger, down 1 string and take off your first finger. This is an A suspended 2, and I'll explain more of the theory later on, but for now, we're just going to play this as our second chord today. The full version of A is where we add your pinky finger, your 4th finger, on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. So you can do that full version if you like, but in the case of the exercise today, we're going to just play the A suspended 2. And so let's go back to E, and we're just going to do 4 strums on each one, and then switch back to A suspended 2. Back to E. And if you're not quite up to speed with me yet, don't worry. Maybe pause it and do the same thing at your own speed, or just hop in whenever you can. If you forget what finger needs to be on there, don't worry. We're just getting used to it. Great. Now it's choose your own adventure time. So you can either choose to do the scale, or any combination of those notes. Just experimenting. If you hit a wrong note, you go to either side. Your other choice is to strum along with me, and I'm going to make this a little bit more interesting by adding a bass note. So the correct way to play a bass note with your thumb is to make sure you're just using the side of your thumb, and you're keeping your thumb really level so that you're not over bending it and plucking out. You're just letting it track over the strings, kind of brush along here. You can also use a pick. You'll just isolate that 6th string and then 3 strums. So we'll do that twice, and now we're going to switch to A major with the suspended 2. Switch back to E. So we're going to try to keep this nice and steady. So if you hit the wrong bass note, don't worry, that E is actually a part of the scale, so it's going to sound just fine. If you play any of those other notes, it's going to sound fine. So you don't have to stare at your hand. It's actually better if you close your eyes now. So whenever you're ready, maybe look at it a couple times more. You can look at your left hand. Maybe just try to not look at your right hand first. I'll go a little bit slower. And then when you're ready, just close your eyes and make this more of a meditation. You can also close your eyes if you're doing the scale. Really just feel where you are. Focus on your breath. Make sure you're staying nice and relaxed. Let everything else go away. You can sing a little bit if you want to. Add that pinky finger for the full A if you want to as well. You can put that in there sometimes. Choose your own adventure. You can do some other strumming. Just go inside for a moment. Go a little bit slower. Really feel these notes here. Do you see any colors? Do you see any images? End together on E. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.